nuclear testing in our island. And they said, well, because Americans are powerful. America is a country that have lots of money. They're rich. And so Marshall Island, because they don't have anything according to what they know or they think is they don't have what Americans have, like money, clothing, and so forth. Um, the other thing that one of the lady was saying is because, according to her knowledge, is because American choose Marshall Island because the population there was very small, and so they didn't really care whether people there will survive or not because the population was still small according to what they know. So right now we're, our generation, I'm 51 right now, but I'm still really interested in knowing why US choose our island. It's a beautiful island and something that I learned tonight that is really making me happy instead of being sad about what happened in the movie is knowing that Pacific is peace. And this is what we're always talk about. Let's forget about what's happened in the past and just focus on the future and be successful. Let's make peace. Let's forget. Let's forget. We're tired of crying. We're tired of being sad. So let's just live in peace. We're Christian people. We believe in God, and we know that God wanted everyone to love one another. And this is our dream, our focus, our vision is to have peace. But it is hard. Watching what just happened earlier is hard. How can we fix that? How can we bring peace forth from watching things like that? So this is something that I have a big dream about, to bring the news, the knowledge to my community, my younger generation, to learn about it. And this is our campaign now, is to spread the word about nuclear testing. Let's stop it. We need some peace. We need everyone to live a happy life instead of losing someone they love from nuclear and testing and uranium, whatever they call those strong, scientific experiment. Thank you. And
hi everybody, my name's Robin, and this really started for me a couple of years ago as somebody on the Pacific Island Health Board, and Public Health Seattle King County was calling me to help Marshallese people get back into care, like if they had tuberculosis or an infectious disease. And I thought to myself, well, how come you can't just call them? Because I would call the Marshallese people and they would answer, and I speak like 5 words of Marshallese. I wish I spoke more. I would say, Yahweh, my name's Robin, blah, blah. Can you come to the clinic with me? And they would come. So I was like, what is going on here? Fast forward to the COVID pandemic, and a lot of Marshallese people ended up in the hospital. We had very, very high rates. In fact, in Spokane, we are 1% of the population, but we were 30% of the COVID cases. Okay? So I work in public health, and I said to my community, okay, how about this? You watch me. Everybody was scared to get the vaccine, and I said, you watch me get it, and if I don't croak, you get it, right? And they said, no, Robin, And I said, why not? And they go, because you're white. I'm half white. And they'll give you the right injection. They also said the injection they give, I think it was steroids, right? They give you an injection, and right after that you die. I think it was steroids, right? So why do you think Marshallese people would distrust the healthcare system? It's hard, right? These bombings happened 70 years ago, but that historical trauma is still affecting us today. It's called slow violence, when something happens and the effects move through space and time and still affects our community. How on earth could it be that we're 1% of the population, 30% of the COVID in Spokane. Well, I'm going to tell you something. These are fighting words. It's not our culture. It's not our genetics. And it's not our individual behaviors. It's things like poverty. It's like the COVID treaty being broken. When they took our main island, they said that we could come over here, we could immigrate freely and have healthcare insurance. In 1996, Bill Clinton took us off under his Personal Work Responsibility Freedom Act, or I don't think I say that right, but it just dropped us. So for until 2020, our elders couldn't get Medicare, Medicaid. And we came with such illnesses like these anomalous cancers, this diabetes, because we can't eat food that is radioactive. I'll stop because I can do a good rant, but this slow violence, this historical trauma is going on and on and on in my community, and I am so happy to see people like Pika, like Dorsey, like BL, working to help our community. And I would ask you to stay informed and vote. So, and big shout out to Veterans Peace Action Team and Washington State Physicians for Social Responsibility, and of course you too. Thank you everybody for coming. And I'm gonna hand it over to one of my favorite guys, BL.
Thank you. So my name is BL. I'm a youth navigator at PICA. I got into what I'm doing right now. To be honest, yeah, I came here at the age of 9, right? I didn't know English. I didn't know nothing. You feel me? I grew up in the islands. I didn't know nothing about the bombs. I didn't know nothing about the sickness and folks dying left to right. Why folks was leaving the islands. I saw a lot of the homes being broken down by climate change, things like that. So that's the reason why I thought. Well, that was the reason why I thought we came back. What came over here from the islands, and that was one of the main reasons. And as I grew up, growing up in poverty, I faced a lot of barriers, and I got into the system, prison system, and I came out and I saw a lot of my friends going through the same thing, and I was wondering why. I didn't understand why we were all going through the same thing, that getting deported. A lot of my friends getting shot. A lot of my friends, doing this and that, and it's all because they don't understand their own history. They don't understand who they are. They're not connected to their culture. They don't understand their roots. And as I was watching this today, I think for me myself, there's just a lot of emotions was built up, because a lot of the things that was being said by the elders in the movie was translated. It wasn't translated right. When the woman was talking about, she had 4 babies that came out and they died, right? It said that they came out looking like grapes, but she described it even more than that. She described that they came out looking more like just lifeless bodies. And the way she described it in Marshallese, it was, you can feel it. You know what I mean? Because, and I started connecting a lot in my head, because I also heard from my mom that she also had 4 babies before me and my brothers, 4 or 5, that passed away due to jellyfish baby or deformities. And I think just watching the movie, it was hard to see the lack of interpretation for my people, and the lack of trying to get that word across, especially what Dorsey was saying. Not a lot of our people understand of what happened in the Marshall Islands. They don't know why it happened to us. Why was it that we were chosen to, being the testing or being the guinea pig to these experiments. I know I see a lot of there's a lot of my people who's dying left to right, and folks don't understand why. But with this movie, with this documentary, I feel like it'll really bring more understanding to our people, so that they can uplift their voices, empower them, go out and say that, what they're doing, investing a lot of money into destructive power is not right. You know what I mean? But yeah, what I do right now is I'm a youth navigator. I make sure that I make sure that the youth that I see nowadays in the martial arts community don't end up in the system that I was in, by reconnecting them to their culture and their history, by telling them things like the nuclear bombings of our islands and teaching them ways of our ancestors and things like that. But I'm glad to see a lot of folks here. You guys are learning. I'm learning with you guys. Yeah.